further. Till problem we have done, like what is problem and what is how it is exactly created. So we have seen that. So the auto closer logic, basically it is already disabled but it is still working. So we will find out further why it is working. So let's move to our change management. So basically the change management module is like one of the important aspect, because a change generally is not just raising a change based on some change has to be done on IT. That is also the thing which is happening inside IT. The change, like suppose any server hardware, like where the server is working on, suppose the hardware requires to be changed, or some upgrade has to happen on server side, so they can raise a change request for that, so that the IT service run in a safe and efficient manner, basically. So it is mainly for reducing the basically the issues which can happen, or the issues which is happened already. So both the case we have to raise the change, so that the change will pass through certain approval process. If it is part of different change types are there, where we have approval also, and some of the change type which don't have any approval also. So both the type of changes are there, so it can be raised accordingly, like whatever is best suitable to add the type of change. Basically, if you see the standard change is generally that type of change, because it is pre-authorized change. And normal change, mostly normal change will run through a process, like there could be approval, and certain things will be there where you will see what will happen for them. The people will approve the change, and the change will be moved ahead with related to IT. And as well as the change management is useful when we are implementing any software which is running in the organization, and we have to upgrade or move the code change to that site, and then we have to raise a change request, so that it will go through the appropriate approval levels, and then further the change will be implemented, right? So basically change management system is happening for code movement also, and for restoring the service also. And as well as if suppose any proactive things happening, proactive changes are required within the organization, so that time also similar process can be followed. And at that time, like change management can be processed slow also, because it is proactive change. Generally the change can happen, but it has to happen, basically. So it is that kind of proactive thing. And then it have a certain life cycle inside ServiceNow change management. So it will follow the life cycle, it will move to various states or various stages as soon as the things are moving inside the change request. Like first the change is created and it will go in a draft version, and then change review will happen from the team, and then further approval process will happen. So inside that we have multiple change tasks also created as part of our flow for the change management. So it could be like implementation task, or testing task, or impact assessment task, review task. It depends. Out of the box, these are the most common tasks, but generally the change management process is modified or customized by our customers. right? So most of the time they don't use out of the box one, especially in case of change management flow, because it involves lot of things within the company, like any changes are happening basically. So that is a big impact, and whatever changes are happening, because something will change when you move anything, or when you upgrade, or when you do the code movement, some feature will be added, right? So in that case, change can be raised, so that people will know, okay, this type of change is implemented, and so feature is enabled as part of that particular change. So this is the standard process when change management is complete, and then the people are notified, okay, this XYZ changes has been implemented, right? So this way, generally the company follows the change management process, right? So change management, if we talk about change management, so there are multiple types of change management in ServiceNow. Like we have standard change, we have emergency change, and we have normal change basically. So all these type of change, suppose if we talk about standard change, so basically it is a pre-authorized change or a low risk change, because it doesn't involve like cab authorization things inside it. These are the pre-approved change which is happening basically. So this can happen regularly, because suppose we don't want to pass certain change request through the approval process. It is like it is a change, but it is a very low risk change basically. So at that point of time, standard change can be processed, but these approved standard change request also is a part of predefined templates. So like we have certain templates inside standard change, which is like pre-approved by the change people or the change management people, because whatever templates will be available, those all templates will be approved. Like there would be predefined fields for the templates, and the people will fill the information, and the standard change management will be processed. And if you think this is also a like approved one only, because the template is already approved by these change process people or the change management group, right? So that's why the picture comes for a standard change. We have multiple type of standard change where record producer will be there as soon as the standard change template is approved. Those templates will be visible under standard change, and from where it will be raised, like it would be it would be portal where they can raise the standard change. That will not require any approval, but a predefined fields you will be having to define there. So that things will take the further process for the support people, and they will process the change from that. And we have another type of change, like it is emergency change. Basically emergency change, it is something like it has to be implemented as soon as possible. Suppose some changes happening that can impact whole company, or 90% people in the company will be impacted from that change. Like there could be like outages happening on server level, so it could be the impact for most of the users if our server is down, or it is like impacting the services for most of the employees. So it is a high priority change that has to happen as soon as possible, because emergency change pass through a like a cab. So basically there would be cab approval group so they will do the approval for that. So it will pass through that approval process basically inside that. So inside that it will be checked by cab people, like whether it is the right emergency change or not, because they have to check the emergency change very they have to check it very carefully, because it is going to implement in next few hours. That's why it has to be looked correctly, and the emergency cab people will connect, and then they will discuss and they will proceed for further steps inside emergency change. So it could be like fixing, or it could be like upgrade, or it could be like replacing some hardware things where our server things are present. So it could be a emergency change. So basically emergency change generally is very less required. So it could be like some big impact is happening, then only the people will raise emergency change. So generally people try to raise normal change, and that normal change also implement very quickly from the people, because there involves again the approval, and the change management approval happens quickly most of the time, because people connect with those cap team and they will tell, okay, we have to implement this change to next system, or to the production, or they have to make something live. So they can raise a normal change, which then passes through the approval process, proper approval process, or generally it requires 2 levels of approval inside normal change basically. And then the approval process, it will be checked whether the change is correct or not, or it is relevant or not, whether it is impacting large number of users or less number of users. They will just check what could be the impact with related to this change which is raised, right? So this way they will be able to create the request for normal change, and these all types of change we have the options to create all type of change requests basically. So this change management process is generally the important aspect for any company in the world, because incident problem is, they are linked, even though change is also linked with the problem, with the incident again. But change management is solving multiple purpose, like it's not only IT systems, it will be like other aspect also, making some website live or modifying something on server level. So they can erase everything inside ServiceNow and track the things which has been done as part of that change. So you can see, okay, what type of changes going on with our company, what are the new features going to be available for all the users. So people have curiosity to see what kind of features are coming. So this way change management can be like tracked also, like what is the thing happening. And generally it is the best practice follows. If some changes happen, the company provides the email, okay, we have implemented such kind of change which will provide us these XYZ features, and then we can start on that application, right? So this way people will able to create the change management under different type of process, right? So emergency change we have talked about, standard change, and as well as we have talked about normal change. So these are the basic type of changes which generally out of the box system has, but people try to make change management process as customized solution, because the company asks us to create multiple type of change also, rather than these type of changes or subcategory or the category. So it depends like how the customer is looking to have the solution, right? So anything can happen inside change management. complete form can change, but half of the fields are generally utilized within the change management process. So most of the time 1 or 2 fields will be added extra, but existing fields are perfectly fine inside change management. So the main thing happens inside the flow or the workflow, like they are having 2 levels of approval or 3 levels of approval. So it depends on request to request. Suppose we have a flow where first level of approval is only required, second level, third level is never required. So that type of change request flow also we can create, right? So this way, like change management thing is the important one, and from the problem we can create the change as well. So we have discussed about like suppose multiple incidents happening, and then one problem ticket will be raised because those issues are same type of issues. Suppose they are facing the server related issues, so 10 incident has been raised, and now the problem has created for that. Now on root cause analysis, it has been found that we have to replace something, we have to replace the device. So what will happen? We have to create a change request there, because some changes has to be required to make IT service system safe, right, and working in an efficient way. So for that purpose change is created, and then change will follow the process, and then the changes, as soon as the change is complete, the problem can be resolved or closed, and similarly all the incident will get resolved. So this way the incident, problem, change are interlinked to each other, right? But there can be a chance incident will have directly change link, like directly the change is created even though for single incident. So it could be a case where some person has raised an issue, but that will require some change inside the code base or some upgrade, or like some plugin upgrade or some feature upgrade, that kind of thing happens. So they can directly create a change. Directly change request can be created as part of incident, so as to fulfill the process things. So that's why incident, problem, change is like sequence steps. This can be linked with each other. So it could be depending upon the requirement, what type of requirement is there, like how we have to link. So it's totally upon us how we are going to implement the change management. Generally the customization is added by the customers. So most of the customers is generally having various kind of customization, right? So even though some customers are there, they don't want to raise any type of change request, they just want a change request created, and they would be having set of approvals, like first level, second level, third level, and fourth level also. So I have seen the change management implementation for 5 level approval also, right? So it could be beneficial also, because it is their company, it is the company requirement and the company process, right, which they are following. So for that purpose change management can be customized in any way, whatever the customer is asking, right? So do you have any questions here?
No. Sure.
Okay, so next we would be having our request management, right? So request management is like a very famous module. Basically everybody working on ServiceNow, they will work on request management, because request management is the baseline thing but it can be utilized for multiple modules. Like ITSM, CSM, HR, and other module also. We can use this request management for getting the access or for fulfilling multiple activities within the company, like getting software installed within your laptop or the system which you are getting, so you can raise the request for that. And similarly, you can raise requests for multiple things. So there could be like hundreds of 200s of service requests for a company, right? So it could be any number of catalog items. For suppose a company is using hundreds of softwares, so there could be a chance it could be categorized on 3-4 categories, or it can be a chance we don't have any categories, just defined as a software category. So for an example, we have Microsoft Excel, Microsoft OneNote, right? So certain kind of software is there, and as well as some kind of IDE installation or some kind of workstation requirement, or where we have our work location, right? So basically it provides or fulfill the requests for all kind of things which is required as part of project. Suppose we are working on a project and we require Jira. We have Jira system, we have ServiceNow system, and suppose we have GitLab, we have GitHub. So those also we are utilizing in our project or to maintain the source control for our project or the code repository. And similarly in Jira, we are tracking the bugs or the stories which is created to work on by the developers. So for all these, the user will come and request from the ServiceNow portal, so whatever he is requiring in terms of software. So there could be approval also for certain applications, because it is having whole organization, projects, and the stories generally inside Jira. He can mostly try to view it, but specific to project, Jira access will be provided, and then the person can see the things which is assigned to him, or what are the things going on with their current project, right? So they have to raise a request, then only they will get the information or the access about that application, right? And request management not only fulfills these activities, it fulfills the HR activities, CSM activities, right? And other module also. If suppose we have to provide a form with certain information and we have to create records in ServiceNow system, so we can utilize record producer. So that is part of request management again, where we don't have request created, we have task based record created. Whatever task we will provide inside record producer, so that type of task will be created under our request management, and then it follows a certain process of approvals, or some of the catalog items are there which don't have any approvals. It will directly provide you an access through an automated flow. So there could be some flow on backend, so it can be modified or it can be customized. Generally all of them flow will be customized, because whenever we build a catalog item, so generally it is the thing which will be provided by the client, what type of fields he wants in the catalog item and what he has to do inside a flow. So the client will tell you, and then according to that we have to update inside the system whatever we have to update as part of our flow or workflow, right? It will be assigned to specific teams, so they will work and provide the relevant access if it is access kind of issue. If it is like assigning something, like replacing something, or replacing something in the sense, suppose we have to replace our hardwares, like we want to replace our mouse, it is not working. Suppose we have to replace our we have our monitor, extra monitor we request sometimes, so that it will be easy to work on, so that also can be replaced. If suppose we are using the laptop and laptop is having some issues which cannot be repaired or done anything, so they will try to replace your laptop, right? So all these things will fulfill a single thing, request management. So this is like important, just like a change management, right? So both the things we can relate, but change is different. Change is like we are impacting the whole lot of users within the company, but request management generally will impact something with related to the specific user only, because the specific user will request that specific request, right? It will not be available for all of them at that point of time, so it will be for that specific user only. So that's why we call it as a request management, because we are requesting something for us or for yourself basically. So we have like request management is there, we have knowledge management also. So I haven't added knowledge management slide here, but I will tell you what is knowledge management. So basically knowledge base, first of all, knowledge is created because if suppose we are raising a request like my system is not working, my system password is not working, right? Now what will happen, some other person can raise a request on your behalf, right? So that person will raise a request on your behalf, like your password is like not working, so it will provide you certain steps as part of the knowledge article. So it would be knowledge article which that person will see who would be raising requests on your behalf. So it will show the steps, okay, you have to follow these steps, and then you will be able to reset your password. So he will follow the steps inside the document, and then he will update certain things. So for that purpose the knowledge management is utilized, because the article will be there what we need to do. Or suppose we have onboarding activities for any company, right? So we have predefined knowledge articles created, right? If suppose we are requesting for any software access, or we are about to get access to any application, so it will provide you the steps like what you need to do. If suppose password reset is required or some authenticator setup is required, so when you set up your Okta, then also we have certain document where you need to follow the process. So similarly the knowledge article is there, so it fulfills certain type of activities, right? So knowledge article is very much utilized. Generally it is created for various modules most of the time, and knowledge article is like it will be provided as a link under record producer, so that the user can follow the steps involved as part of that request. And as well as if someone is facing any issues, if someone is having suppose Outlook is not working, right? So it will have some troubleshooting steps, right? So that troubleshooting steps will be provided in the knowledge article, and that knowledge article a person can check inside incident, a short description we have there, a contextual search happening there, so we can get the specific knowledge and it can be redirected to that specific document, so which is generally a knowledge article, right? So knowledge article basically have multiple categories in it. So it could be like marketing, it could be like finance, it could be HR. So certain kind of knowledge articles will be there, and then these articles will be utilized for different purpose, for different applications, right? And as well as sometimes what happen, the problem, we can try to generate article from our problem also, right? If suppose we have some article has to be created from the problem, it can be created from there as well, and we can set it up separately also, which can go with certain approval process. If someone is creating knowledge article, so it will follow the process, like who would be the manager, who would be the approver, right? These all things we have to define for that specific knowledge base. So we can define in that specific knowledge base. If you open the form, we will be having like who would be the approval, who would basically publish the article after the approval, generally it happens, right? So it will be reviewed by knowledge manager, and then further publishing of article happens, right? People can raise it from portal also. So it depends like what kind of access for knowledge is given. Generally full knowledge creation is not available for all the users. Generally we have a less number of personas who can create knowledge, because they have to maintain also all the knowledge versions, article versions, because those are important and they have to be maintained time to time. Because what happens, some changes happens on all the applications after some time from that particular third party vendor, right? So because of that only we have to update the article on various versions. That's why we have our knowledge version management inside ServiceNow only, where you can update your version, whatever the latest version is after the previous one, right? So this way, like knowledge can be linked and utilized under ITSM module or CSM module or HR also. So I have mentioned these three modules because these are most common modules inside ServiceNow. So this only doesn't work with ITSM, it works with other module also. Similarly, it was for request management also, but I have covered inside ITSM because most of the time service catalog generally comes as part of ITSM. That's why I have added request management here, but not knowledge. Knowledge is part of multiple modules. It can be utilized on several other modules as well, not only restricted to limited modules. So it is throughout the system, whatever knowledge you are able to create, and you can define anything inside that, but that will pass through a approval process from the knowledge manager. All right. So any question as of now?
No.
Okay, so yeah, so I think this is fine for today. So we will process further, like next time when we will meet, we will try to cover other things. Let's see what is our next thing to cover. Okay, so after ITSM module we have our service catalog, basically service catalog item. So in this thing I will tell you about these all things, what is the different and how to configure and utilize all of those things, like order guides, variable set, record producer, categories. These all things I will talk about it tomorrow. Okay, and then on sequence,
Yes.
after this we would be having a workflow studio, flow designer, and these all things. Okay,